Hey you guys, Rebecca here at Beauty Lab, and as you guys know, I am currently pregnant and still strength training. So I wanted to help out a few of you fellow strength trainers that are actually pregnant too, with a couple of tips that can help you continue with your program. Two main movements I'm still using, which are glute bridges and hip thrusts. Some simple modifications that you can do to continue to do those safely for yourself and for your baby. So here are some quick modifications that can help you still safely lift. Keep in mind, this is for people that are currently doing strength training, that have been doing strength training. This is not something that you should start up if you're newly pregnant or you've never done it before. So make sure you're consulting your doctor first. That is the most important part. Okay, let's get started. So first movement, glute bridge. I do these all the time. I find ways to do them with dumbbells and bands that are comfortable for me. So one little modification that can help. So if you don't feel comfortable or you have a hard time breathing, specifically staying on your back for long periods of time is not the best. So what you want to do is focus on elevating your head or your upper body. This is a nice little trick. You can use, if you have a pillow at the house, I have two pads here, so I'm gonna show you. So same movement, but all I'm doing is slightly elevating my upper body, which makes me feel more comfortable because I'm not flat on the floor. Then the movement is exactly the same. So my back is still tucked and tight, and then I'm gonna go into my basic glute bridge, okay? So I'm squeezing my glutes to the top, still doing my movement, being mindful of my core, making sure I'm not coning when I do this, keeping my core nice and tight. That shows that I'm really bracing and doing the movement properly, okay? So another movement that I do all the time is a hip thrust. So I've had to modify this quite a bit. I carry really low, so I have to be mindful of range of motion. So with this, don't be so concerned about if you're not getting as deep as you're used to in this movement. Be mindful of how it feels to you. Range of motion is one thing that's gonna have to change. Also, positioning of your feet. So for me, I've had to go for a more wider stance with stuff. So I widen out my stance just a little bit. I'm still tucked under, my core is nice and tight. And then I go into my basic hip thrust as usual. I'm being very mindful, no coning. My core is really tight. And I'm still able to go through my regular hip thrust, just with shortening my range of motion and also widening my feet out. So make sure you just make these small little modifications and you can still continue on with some of the same lifts that you've been doing. Just be mindful of listening to your body. That's really important, and you'll be able to do all these movements safely. So try them out for yourself and hope you enjoy.